excited to cross over 300. For whatever reason, 300 just seems like that number. That, like, I'm really trying. And it's kind of the number that's like stretching my, I guess, Rhino's influence within Rhino community, which is kind of odd to me because we have over 8,000 email opens a day and we have 296 members, which is fine. I do think there's a portion of people that are like, let me just keep watching. One day, I will share who those email addresses are. We have 48 different .govs, like US government officials. We have a .tesla, like there is an executive at Tesla that watches all of our emails. We have 118 different countries. We have 3 elected officials that are actually in Congress right now. And then we just have a whole bunch of onlookers. What's actually really funny is we have, I think, like 17 private equity, like at, whatever.com. I'm not going to say it out loud. Which is cool, right? Like when you have that many eyeballs on you, it's a good sign. And actually what I was saying in the email today was, so a lot I cut out, right? Because when I'm typing the email, I really do spend 3 hours on that email. Now today you might say, Ant, how could you spend 3 hours on that email? It was like 5 sentences. A lot of work goes into those 5 sentences. In fact, I did a video yesterday that's kind of, well not kind of, but the new welcome video. So if you go on RHINOretirement.com, you'll see it's right in the center. If you go on retirement.rhinostreet.com, which is where everyone joined, right? You had the video and you had the join button. It's a new video. And the video is the article that we published Wednesday, which everyone really, really liked. And I liked it a lot. So what I did was I had the article up and then I read it. And then at the end of it, I showed you how to actually join and what would happen after you join. So it really is a step-by-step tutorial. Anyone that sees that button, they're like, what happens if I press this button? Like the house is gonna blow up. But if they press that button, I show them what happens, which is really cool. Point being, I sent that over to John to put it up on Rhino Retirement. And it was 9 minutes and he's like, oh my God, 9 minutes, that's the longest video. I go, John, I could easily do a half-hour video. I tried really hard to make it short. He goes, you tried to make it short and it was only 9 minutes? I said, yes, that was me trying. And you'll know that because you guys have been around longer than the current team, which is really cool. Like your family, their family, but like you've known me. You've known me since I went from like diapers to pull-ups, right? But the point of the story is, and what actually, so the part of the email that you didn't see was where I wrote, things are going just really great. And it's making me wildly uncomfortable. Because when it's like when a dog is chasing a car, right? Like he has nothing to lose. It's like when you're chasing that really pretty girl or handsome guy that you always want to date. You have nothing to lose. You could do the weird stuff, right? Like, oh yeah, I love wearing my hair blonde, right? And then like you marry them and you're like, yeah, that was never gonna happen. Like, ah, sucker. Or like if you're chasing that girl and it's like, yeah, I volunteer at the elderly care center all the time. And you take her on a couple of dates there, then you guys get married and you're like, my back. I loved doing that. The point being, you can say and do anything. And then when you get there, when you're the dog, when you get to the car, it's like, now I'm driving a car. I could like crash this thing. And it's a good feeling to have. But the point of me saying this is, I walk around every day thinking the shadow underneath my foot could be the anvil over my head, right? I walk around every day making every decision thinking the light that I see at the end of the tunnel could be a train. And I share that because I want to share the realness of what this feels like. But at the same time, it's like, I remember when I was a stockbroker, like when I worked for the investment firms, and I hear someone talking. When I worked for the investment firms and I would talk to a prospect over the phone and they're like, yeah, well, my broker has, never made a mistake. And I know that to be a fact because I've been with him for a couple of weeks and he's really great. I was like, great. I was like, do you think he's perfect? He goes, no. I go, do you think he'll make a mistake at least once in his life? He goes, yeah. I go, duh. So the reality is either he's made mistakes like a normal human being and is lying right to your face, which do you want someone that's dishonest holding your money? Or he's not lying. He's never made a mistake. Therefore, when he makes a mistake, he's not going to know how to handle it. He's just going to and blow up. And do you want that person handling your money? He goes, no. I go, well, let me tell you about every mistake I've ever made. And it's funny because when you start telling someone your mistakes, and of course I didn't rattle like the billion, but when you're able to be self-reflective, hey, I went into this thinking this, and then this happened, and I had to accept, and I had to pivot, and this is how I solved it. Every single thing that we do is tested to the second. All right, like for instance, I told you yesterday, the video that I recorded yesterday that I just told you I put up was because I had additional email support that came in Wednesday and said, hey, Ant, that was a really good article. So I said, wow, this is more attention that I've gotten for any article. Let me go ahead and push it forward. Now, that's not me deciding that this is the best article. This is me understanding that others are telling me it's the best article. So I went ahead and made a video because that's what the market's telling me to do. Now, if the video doesn't work and everyone's like, Ant, that video is terrible, guess what's going to happen? We're going to go back to the old video. And one would say, Ant, was that a mistake? Yes. But everyone that's a part of it says, I saw how the mistake happened. And he thought right. In fact, he was making the right decision. It had the wrong results, and he very quickly solved it. There is nothing more that anyone could ask for than to be a part of that. And because of that, I do it right in front of everyone because I think that's a real value. I don't think mistakes should be hidden. I think they should be celebrated if you solve them. So to the point of the shadow underneath my feet and the light at the end of the tunnel being maybe a train, even when things are going good, I'm looking for okay, I do a constant autopsy in my head, and I call it a pre-topsy. What can go wrong that can derail this, especially now that things are going amazing? We're now on 2 exchanges. I put the new exchange in the email. In fact, you could look at it. It's CoinGecko. They have this whole dashboard where it's like they show the charts of our thing, of Rhino Bucks. They show the volume. They show the market cap. It's amazing. It looks like the super duper trade station. That's good. Our coin is $1.32 today. In fact, the real market price is higher than the market price in the emails. And everything going forward is already done. It's now just execution, which again is the scary part. It's just the execution. And the most scary part of the execution is it's out of my hands. I now need the support of our rhinos. I just do. I can't open a bazillion accounts myself. Remember Wells Fargo tried that? Boom, what happened to them? We need the community. We need the accounts automated to go ahead and make the investments. I don't care if they're $1. It doesn't matter. But I can't do that myself. And it's funny because in my life, marketing has been something natural. Because I'm fairly unique and because I'm not afraid to say certain things and I'm not afraid to make a mistake, people see me as, Anthony, you're quite genuine. Whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing, I know that your heart's in the right place. And more times than not, if you work with someone whose heart is in the right place, you never get hurt too much. In fact, I've made mistakes before. I've lost people money in the stock market and they go, and I was more upset. I was outside crying one time because I lost someone money in Crocs. And he goes, Anthony, it's just money. It's just money. I go, yeah, but I lost you like 40,000. He's like, Ant, I'll make it back. It's okay. Do you think I gave you my house? I didn't. He goes, you're going to learn. And actually, that person is still with us today. I still know who that person is. They're not in Rhino, but I know who that person is. So on that note, I started thinking, well, everyone in Rhino invests in Rhino. They invest in me. They invest in Rhino. I see it every week. So Rhino should invest in you. Now, we did the contest and gave away millions of coin, which was good. Which, by the way, I'm not sure everyone knows this, but there's a hierarchy of coin, right? The coin that you get via Rhino Retirement, the weekly recurrings, that's immediate. That's yours. The coin that you got as an investor, that's the second tranche. That's when the market matures. The coin that you get as reward coin, that's behind that. And that's not to say, oh, you're bottom of the totem pole. No. But put yourself in the shoes of people that have been funding this the whole way through. They don't want to be diluted. And they think it's quite reasonable that if you got something as a reward, then when you measure the two paths of collecting that coin, that everyone should think that's fair. And I think that's fair. But I've never said that out loud. So when we had investors say, "Hey, Ant, you gave a lot of coin away," I'm like, I think you're mistaken how that's hierarchical. But I just want to say that out loud. But that's not going to happen again, right? We said it was a one-time thing. 1,000,000 coin is a lot of coin, and we had great results. We had 1,200 referrals. Amazing. It turned into, I believe, at this point, like 40 accounts. Amazing. 40 over 1,200 is like 3% or something, some really, really low number. Not amazing. But and I've always said to everyone, that's on me. You brought the people to the well, but they didn't want to drink. Well, was my water sour? I don't know. But we did change that video. Like I just shared with you, we have the new video. I did change that email copy. We greatly reduced it, so it's a quicker read. And everything's been developed since. The people that are going to read it now are going to see that there actually is a marketplace. They could look it up. So I thought to myself, well, actually, let me tell you this one more thing. And I know I'm 3 minutes over. I'm probably going to go 5 more because today's Friday and I'm feeling kind of sexy. But, well, obviously not. I tell my wife, we're pregnant. We're having a baby in 16 days. She goes, Anthony, it doesn't work like that. I goes, 2022, I could be pregnant. And if you didn't laugh at that, I'm sorry. But she goes, hey, you're getting fat. And I'm like, I love you too. Like, thanks. I go, if I stayed with a 6-pack, she goes, you never had one. I'm like, anyway, so getting back to this. Over the course of this week, I've received 4 different phone calls. And every time I receive a phone call, I love it, right? Like I usually know who it is, but then when calls come up with no number and with no name, I'm curious. And when we send out the invoices, the receipts for all the transactions, all the investments, it does say my number on it, which is good. I always put my number everywhere. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to find a more front-facing person of any platform ever. You want my number, it's in my email. You want to book a call with me? Go ahead and schedule the link, right? And every one of these calls I pick up, right? Like, hi, Cheryl, hi, Bob. They were just yesterday alone. But over the course of this week, we've had 4 different calls where somebody was poking around. Hey, so how'd you do what you're doing? Did you ever think about what it's worth? Would you like to partner? If somebody came, would you sell the company? And of course, all the answers are no, right? Like, I'm always open to partnering, and then I hear the partnership that you're offering, and I say no because it's not that I think ours is the best, but I don't think there's anything bigger than what we're doing, right? We identified an asset being your transactions that's being bought and sold by everyone else that actually is the mechanism and vehicle to transfer the wealth from the top 1% back to where it belongs, the people. So we created an asset, we identified an asset that you didn't even know existed, and now we're able to fund it and make it go to an infinite value. I'm not sure there's something bigger than that, right? I don't know. I've always said, I think we could be the biggest company in the history of the world because there is nothing bigger. Like, we literally have a path to the biggest thing ever. So what they've said is, and some of them are like just into crypto, right? And crypto's a really dirty, disgusting place. Like, you have like the low lives of the low lives because they see that crypto is confusing and that had such big returns, so they could go ahead and scam people. The difficulty with them being able to scam people, though, is that it's so difficult, right? Like, if you're going to scam a grandma, all right, well, Granny, go ahead and put your money into this. You got to get an account over here, then send the money from this to that. You got to wait for it. You got to buy the ETH and then take that and swap it over here. And you got to get they're like, I don't even know. I'm unscammable because I do not even speak the language you're talking to. But they still find people to scam. Now, if you take it from my perspective, I find if you ask anyone in 100 years from now, is money going to be paper or digital, right? Like, the answer is obvious. So don't you want to be a part of that? Yes. But Anthony, the question is how? And if we want to go ahead and do this thing that's so big, we have to be able to speak to everyone. We have to be able to make it so simple for everyone. That same grandma has to be able to understand what it is we're doing. And although that person's intent was scam, the outcome that they wanted, or at least the journey to it, can be the same. They want it to be an easy scam. They want to get it done. Well, we want to make it an easy investment. We want to get it done. So that middle component is identical. And that's what we spent the time building, right? Like we have a real partnership with Stripe. It's not like, oh, we're a customer of theirs and we partner. No, they open their developers program to us. We have, well, not all of it, right? But like they opened a portion of code and allowed us to custom code it, right? So Stripe is saying, we're going to allow you to custom code on our interface and use it as your business. In which case, we have that the dashboard that you sign up with, that's from Stripe. Well, no, that's from us. But once you get into the next page, that's from Stripe, where you then go ahead and pick your plan. Anyone remember how easy it was? Okay, I put my email, I make a password, sign up. Okay, next page. Do I want to do $1, 10, 25, or 100? No, 10. Next page, checkout. All right, you already have my email, you already have my name, you need my card information, cool. What country am I from? I'm from like France, okay. What's my zip code? Well, everyone knows we're a search engine, zip code's pretty important. Zip code, all right, submit. I'm done. You never need to touch anything ever again. Now, the other side of it is, well, actually the journey to it is, once that happens, your investment goes from your account to RHINO's account. Starting Monday, because the bot is completed and now we just got to apply it to everyone's account, right? Starting Monday, the bot then comes and takes the money, knowing your customer ID, your Stripe ID. Yeah, no, we're going. No, you don't need my address. I need your address. I'll tell you in a second. So the bot comes, takes the money out of RHINO's account, goes to the exchange, buys RHINO bucks, takes the RHINO bucks, then brings it to your wallet and sends it to your wallet. That's all done. So the only thing that RHINO ever needs from anybody is opt in and what's your wallet address. To Michelle's point, RHINO needs your wallet address because RHINO's the one sending you the coin. Well, the exchange is sending you the coin, but it needs an address to deliver it to. So that's the way that works. If you want my address, you can, but you'd only be able to send me stuff. And if you want to send me stuff, I love you. So the people that I speak to, they're like, how is that even possible? There's nowhere. In fact, most crypto places don't even allow you to, like major banks don't even allow you to buy crypto. You're allowing people's debit cards from like JP Morgan Chase to buy it through Stripe, and you coded the whole thing that they press one button and they just get you an address that you gave a whole tutorial for. How does, like, do you know how much that's worth? And I said, well, I don't. I know how much I think it's worth, and I'm going to keep developing it. The point of the story is, all of these things together brought me to the email this morning. I want to invest, well, RHINO wants to invest in you. To the top 4 people that go and share RHINO, we're going to give you $100 a piece, US dollars. It will be delivered to you Monday morning, 11 a.m. To the next 4 people, you'll get $25 each. And if you're past 8th place, sorry, I know today's day and age, everyone's a winner. We still think you're a winner. Like, we love you, but you didn't place in this contest. That's all. So what we would like to inspire is please go to Share RHINO and share it with people. Now, we already did it once, but I want to actually give you money. We need it, right? Like, we need it. A couple of updates. Oh my God, I'm already at 20 minutes. Well, actually, I'll give you more updates tomorrow. Just want to tell everyone, I love you all. We did put the second exchange link in it, so go take a look. And everyone, I'm coming for you today. If I don't have your wallet address, I'm gonna probably knock on your door. I don't really know where you live, but don't make me find out.